Right, Manchester United lost last night against Fulham, but these are the 5 things we learned from the FA Cup game. I thought there were some positives from the game. Yes, we go out on penalties, which is very frustrating. But yeah, let's talk about the 5 things we learned. And number one, we showed a fight again. Yes, we lost, and a large part it wasn't good enough. But I think at times there was a huge fight shown by Manchester United. I thought we started off the game well. We looked confident at the start of the game. There was that intensity, there was that urgency. De Ligt winning the challenges early on Maguire. And we did have chances in that game, certainly, to win it. I think that fight, though, is something that we haven't seen from United over recent years, and that's why you have to take that as a positive. That grit, determination, sheer sort of just willingness to play was a positive, and I think that came from the occasion, but also the fact that we know now this Europa League game is huge going forward, and this was the opportunity to go through in the FA Cup. As I said, it gives us a lot of pressure in the Europa League, which is going to be very tough, but listen, let's see what happens. It was a very, very difficult performance from Manchester United. But as I said, the great determination, the fight was there. I think that's something Amarim talked about post-match. The players were knackered, 120 minutes. But again, we have to go again, and we have to go into the next game against Sociedad with that same mentality, same spirit, and same fight that we've showed in this game and the game against Ipswich. But yeah, we showed fight. Now, number two, Xerxes impressive. I thought Xerxes, yes, he missed the penalty, and listen, you can see how distraught he was after the game. I think his performance was one of the positive ones in that Manchester United team. Off the ball, listen, he might not be the quickest, but again, he was giving everything, and he was just absolutely knackered. You could see him 3-4 times, he was just legless, pulling up for cramp, but he's one of those players who get everything. I think technically on the ball, he's one of our better players. Some of the passes, some of the switching, the link-up play that he had was very, very positive, and you could see that throughout the game. I think with Xerxes, he's a confidence player. I think you look at how he's turned over his United spell from, 30th of December, getting subbed off, booed off by some fans against Newcastle, to what he is now. He's just a much more valued player, and we can definitely see the threats. As I said, times we didn't really have a creative, or we didn't have a runner as such in the two inside 10s with Xerxes and Eriksen, but when Garnacho came on, you did see a difference, and I think sometimes you need some energy and legs in that 10. I didn't think we had that with Xerxes in there, but I think that 10 position is his. He will probably start the next game, and I think his performance yesterday was a very positive one. As I said, the penalty, listen, I'm not going to go in and not on the penalty. Listen, it's a gamble, it's 50-50. If the keeper saves it, the keeper saves it at the end of the day. But I think Xerxes' performance was a real impressive one, and one to certainly be proud of. I think, as I said, where he has come from, he was so poor, there was a lot of question marks. He's fought for his position, and I thought he was fantastic. Number three, CHIDO impressed as well. Another player off the bench, just came on and just creative. Listen, he's had a amount of big chances in one game, not even a full game, then Højlund has in 22 games. And it wasn't even about us creating service for him. He was creating his own chances. He was causing problems for Bassi, which Højlund just couldn't do the whole game. Højlund's just woeful at the minute, and I would just take him out of the limelight. I know you put more pressure on a 17-year-old kid, but we just have to do something. And I think his performance off the bench was fantastic, and he showed. As I said, he had 2-3 chances to win it. I think with a bit more experience, he probably finishes those. But again, at least he's getting in the right position, because I don't think Højlund, if we played 3 games, he wouldn't have got in that position. So listen, he's very impressive. I think going forward, he's going to get a lot of minutes. If he is being fast-tracked, I don't think United would have ever expected him to be starting these sort of games. But with Xerxes kind of being moulded into that inside 10 with Højlund off form, you really have to throw CHIDO in at this point. I think it does make a lot of sense. I think it's logical, and I think it will massively benefit Manchester United to bring in someone like CHIDO into the firing line at the moment. So that's number three. Number four, defensive solidness. I think the goal we conceded was a set piece, which I'll talk about last. But again, I think the team showed a lot of solid defensive ability. I thought Yoro sub was weird. I thought when Lindelof came on, we looked worse. Maybe it was injury, maybe it was a knock, we don't know. I think Maguire was fantastic. Again, he signalled with the injury, so hopefully it's just a precaution. De Ligt, absolutely fantastic. I was just watching a clip before recording about the amount of tackles that he made. 6 out of 6 tackles completed just in extra time. He was absolutely colossal. And listen, there was a lot of question marks around De Ligt when he came in, but I thought he was fantastic yesterday. As I said, we did lose, but again, as I said, there were positives to take from the game. I thought De Ligt's performance was a real positive one, and I think he did show that fight, that energy and that determination. He was on to Muniz, just on the striker, winning his duels, pressing, nicking the ball high up the pitch, and I think, yeah, very good performance. Now, the fifth and final thing, set pieces again. As I said, I'm not going to talk about the penalties. Like, it was just a 50-50 moment. We won against Arsenal. We lost again today. I think in United's history, we've lost 13 and won 12 of our penalty shootouts. So it is very, very 50-50. I think set piece again. I mean, the goal that we conceded, it's kind of on Mazraoui looking back at it. But we lose 2 headers in our box, and that's something that has to be looked at. I mean, there was a period where we were just woeful, one of probably the worst teams with set pieces. And look how we brought it back. We started scoring from set pieces and actually looking like a threat. But now, again, we just don't want to slip back into that. I think whoever the set piece coach is genuinely has to be fired at this point. What they're doing with set pieces, I will never know. We just don't look confident. I think Onana, he claimed a few, he looked alright, but large parts of it wasn't great. But listen, they're the 5 things we learned. I'm going to leave it there. It was a poor result by United, but I think a decent performance at times. Let me know your thoughts. Peace.